Hi, it is time for TMG.
Hey, it's time.
It's time.
It's time for TMG.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TMG. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. I enjoy discovering and sharing real-life moments of inspiration from everyday people. And this show is about finding moments of inspiration for our everyday lives. And look, and if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. Hi, everybody! Welcome to an all-new episode of TMG. I'm your host, Travis Patton Sr. Hey, guys, real quick, do me a favor. You know how we like to do this before we get started. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our YouTube page. That's Tell Me Something Good with a capital T. And as always, I want to give a huge shout out to my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, my lovely wife, Nicole. Hey, girl, how you doing? I know you're watching. I know you're listening. Man, today's episode is going to be incredible. I could not wait to get here. Listen, guys, Thursday could not get here soon enough. I know, I enjoy spending Thursdays with you. You are incredible. You continue to show up week after week. And listen, let me just stop for a second, take a minute, and give everybody an applause. Thank you, everybody, for just keep showing up. And sometimes that's all it takes is somebody to keep up for you. Have you ever felt like you just couldn't make it? Ever felt like kind of like you was out of step? And then you looked around and those people who were in your corner, who said they were in your corner, they just kept showing up, and you felt like giving up, but because they kept showing up, you kept going. That's what you do for me. Thank you. And if this is your very first time hearing the show, hearing my voice, do me a favor. I want you to type this in chat. Type the word new, N-E-W. And if you aren't watching this right now, if you're somewhere maybe in Portugal or Spain or Canada or maybe South America or Mexico, guys, or Southeast Asia or Japan, listening to the show right now, because this is a global podcast, go ahead and say the words, I'm new. Yeah, go ahead and say it. I'll hear it. I'll pick it up in the airways. Go ahead and just say, I'm new. Guys, I'm so excited. And if you saying, Travis, man, look, I'm not new, but I've been watching and streaming your show ever since you've been streaming. Let me take this time to tell you thank you. I'm so glad that you keep showing up for me. I appreciate you. Listen, guys, this episode tonight is really going to change your mind about the way you see things. And I'm so glad that I get to share it with you. Now, if you've been watching the show for a while, you know a couple things about me. You know I love a good story, but you also know that this show is all about finding moments of inspiration in our everyday lives. So if you have an inspiring story that you'd like to tell and maybe come on the show, drop me an email at tellmesomething21 at gmail.com. That's tell me something 21 at gmail.com. And you say, well, Travis, listen, I don't want to come on a show. I'm a little camera shy. what should I do? If you know someone that has an inspiring story, send in their information at TELL me something 21 at gmail.com. And guys, listen, I'm starting something so good, so brand new, and that I want you to get in on this. So check this out. Each week, if you send in your tell me something good moment, maybe you got a raise, maybe you got a promotion, maybe you had a better relationship with your child or your parent, or maybe that personal goal that you were trying to accomplish, you finally got past it, and you want to share it with everybody. You just can't keep that good news to yourself. Listen, send in your tell me something good moment to TELL me something 21. And guess what? I will read your tell me something good moment on the next week's show. And everybody around the world that's watching will know your name. How cool is that? That someone in South America will be saying your name. That is the coolest thing ever. Guys, listen, I want to go ahead and play some sponsorship information away because I'm so excited and ready to dive into the show. Now, don't go away. We will be back. Now, I know you want to keep seeing my face. I know. I'm not going nowhere, man. The show is just getting
Walmart is a
started.
proud associate sponsor of TMG Tell Me Something Good podcast. Please use the special link bit.ly/tell me something good and visit our sponsor. Remember, I may earn a commission when you buy through this link. Fanatics is the place to go for all of your officially licensed sports gear from your favorite sports and sports teams. Use the special link bit.ly/tell me something 21 and pay a visit to our sponsor today. Remember, I may earn a commission when you buy through this link.
Breaking your phone sucks. Breaking your phone, then trying to sell it online sucks. Breaking your phone, selling it online, only to find out that the money you'll only get for it sucks. Breaking your phone, selling it online for peanuts, shipping it, and finding out that you got scammed sucks. Gizmodo makes selling your phone fast, safe, and simple by paying you the highest price for your device. And with Gizmodo's free unlimited shipping and price guarantee, millions of people are starting to sell on Gizmodo. Fast, safe, simple. Gizmodo, the best way to sell tech.
There it is right there, guys. Please visit one of our affiliate sponsors. The information is right there. Look below. It's right there in the chat. And if you are not watching this, listen up, guys, because you will hear this later on. Now, I know you've been sitting on pins and needles waiting to figure out what in the world we're going to talk about today. Guys, if you did not get a chance to catch today's episode title, guys, is The Antidote Ain't in the Bottle. That's right. The antidote ain't in the bottle. And I know you're probably wondering, where in the world is Travis going to go with that? Guys, I want to go ahead and put up a real short video to kind of go along with what we're talking about. And for those who aren't watching, I'll describe the video of what we're doing. So today's episode topic is the antidote ain't in the bottle. So I'm putting up a video of this person that has bottle after bottle of medicine in front of them. They're frustrated. They're wringing their hands, placing their hands on their head, picking up one bottle after the next, one prescription after the next, from one prescription to the next. And you know why this person's doing this? They told us the answer was in a bottle. pop this, rub that, swallow this, and silence your pain. But what if the silence is the problem? What if the real antidote is a thing they never prescribe? Connection, balance, spirit, and truth. Guys, today on TMG, I'm talking to someone who's worn the white coat, written the scripts, and now she's flipping the script. And trust me, the antidote ain't in the bottle. I mean that. The antidote ain't in the bottle. She is medically boarded in internal medicine and in pediatrics. She has been practicing medicine for 12 years and 16 years doctorate. She's stepping out of the traditional healthcare model to open a business that blends holistic health healing with medical expertise. And listen, it's aimed at treating the root and not the reaction. Guys, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to give a huge TMG welcome to our very special guest and a good friend of mine, Dr. Sean. Dr. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on.
Woo!
What's up, Dr. Sean? How you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. I have been looking forward to this moment probably just as much as you have. I really have. So thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited to have you on the show. And because you are here
Mhm.
today, Dr. Sean, I'm so excited. I'm going to do something
Uh-oh.
so special. I'm going to give you a round of applause.
Let it go.
I am.
Let it go. Let it
There you
go.
go.
Let it
There you
go.
go. There you
I
go.
love it.
There
I
you go.
love it.
Giving you
I'll
a
take
round
a
of
second.
applause.
Oh,
There you
standing
go. There
ovation.
you go.
An
There you go. There
ovation.
you go.
That's
See
what
what
I'm
I'm
talking
saying?
about.
See what I'm
That's how
saying?
you make a girl feel welcome. That's how you make a girl
Man,
feel at home.
I know,
All
man.
right
I
now.
know. I'm so excited to have you be a part of the show, and especially with what we're talking about today,
Yeah.
Dr. Sean. So I'm ready to dive in. I know there are people watching. It's Thursday night. Everybody's excited. Dr. Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do and exactly how long have you been
Okay,
doing
that's a
this?
mouthful. That's like three questions in one. That's
Hey,
hey,
all in
hey,
one.
hey,
One.
casing it. Oh, seriously. Okay, so first the whole name. It's LaShondra Thetford Adley. And through time, my patients have always struggled to put all those pieces together. So Dr. Sean is easy. Sean is what I was called since childhood. So Sean is easy. So Dr. Sean is what I go by. Traditionally, if somebody asks me, well, who are you? I'll say one, I am a child of God and a servant of God. Okay, let's just start and keep this thing in order. Two, I am Carlos Adley's wife. Okay, and I take pride in that.
What's up, Mr.
Yes,
Adley? What's
yes.
up, my man?
Three, I'm about seven children's mother person in some kind of form or fashion. So I thank God for allowing me to be a mother. And then I put being a doctor forth. But it
Oh
is
wow.
my it's more than a career. It is my calling. I
Uh-huh.
have accepted it as such for quite some time. Um, yeah,
That's
ever
good.
since I would say even getting into undergrad and starting to do the extra studies and
Oh
stuff
wow.
and realizing everybody else got to go out. Everybody else got to go do something. I'm over here in the science lab.
Studying and doing the lab
So
work.
it it has to be a calling. It has to be more than I just want to be a doctor. I just want to wear a white coat, or I just want to make
Right.
money, because you're not going to make it through residency. You're not. You're not. You're not going to make it through call. You're not going to make it through the times. You're not going to want to deal with people. And so I'm telling you, you already know. But this is a calling for me, and I find it sheer joy to get to be part of people's family. For the last, I guess, 12 on to 15 years, I've been the person taking care of the grandmother, the mother, the child, and the one coming. You know what I mean? And so it's been a blessing. Um, And so that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. I am lively. You know me. I like to sing. I like to dance. I
Yes.
enjoy life. And somewhere around in my training, I started understanding the difference between just being healthy and wellness.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. So coming from
mm,
a spiritual base, I always
mm,
said, even before I went into my more natural path now, that I was a holistic doctor because, I am
right,
tending to the whole person, their mind, body, soul. Realized a long time ago, you can't
right.
even tap into a person's physical sometimes until you get past their mental space. You know what I mean?
Man, Dr.
Yeah,
Sean,
we
Dr.
can't even do it.
Sean.
I can't
Mm,
even
mm,
prescribe you a
mm.
pill until we have a talk first and figure out where are you coming from, what's your motivation, what are your goals, where are you broken versus where are you whole. Um,
Ooh,
yeah,
my
yeah,
goodness.
got to get into that first. And with that kind of more holistic approach, that's allowed me to, I think, have a deeper relationship with my patients, so they're able to
Hmm.
receive
I can
me
see why.
better because they one feel as though I know them, I've heard them, and through that I'll use my medical information and knowledge and prayer and wisdom from God to then guide you towards your healthiest place. So
I, I like that, Dr. Sean. I think that when people see that you
mhm,
really care about them as an individual, it really has them to buy into who you
exactly.
are as a person. And and when you do that, it makes them
Hmm.
want to listen. And I tell people this all the time. I don't care who your
Exactly.
physician is or whatever. Your healing is
Hmm.
in your hand. Your
In your
health
hand.
is in your hand. And the doctor is not responsible for
Nope.
correcting everything. You have to understand part of your healing is in your
Exactly.
own hands. Whether you talk up and speak about it, whether you tell whoever else about it, you have to understand that you may not put yourself in that health condition, but
Yeah.
coming out, that's
Yeah.
all in your hands. It's in your that
Yeah.
first step is up to you. It's in your hands. That is some
Oh,
good
I challenge you. It's even more than
information.
a first step. I'm going to go back and just first, I get to quote my husband on this one. So my husband tell people,
Okay.
he always says, people don't care how much you know until they know that.
Know how much
Yes.
you care.
So, and that
Absolutely.
has allowed me to be able to understand my patients better. And so, and
Correct.
I've often called myself more of a health advocate. I don't go home. I
I
don't
like
make
that.
the medical choices for you. I don't pick up the fast food or the whatever kind of food you're going to eat. I don't sit there and shove that pill
That's
down
right.
your mouth. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not there. All I can
Right,
do is
right. You're
teach
not
you and
there.
guide you to the best of my ability to help you understand the logic, and hopefully once you understand
I
that,
like
that
that.
understanding will fuel your actions and your behaviors from that point on. That's my role. So
I again, your
mhm,
healing
yes
is
it
in
is.
your own hands. If you ever wanted to know
Mhm,
what you can do, look at your two
mhm,
hands. Your healing is in your own hands. Let me ask you this question. So
yeah,
you take care of people,
yeah,
family members, everybody,
yeah,
aunties, grandma,
yeah,
uncle, cousins,
yeah.
next door neighbors, the dog down the street. You have everybody, Doc Sean. So, with that being said, I hear a
Okay.
story behind that. I hear a story behind that. What is one thing that motivated you to pursue this career? Because I see you're taking care of
Yeah.
so many people, but I see that, but I hear a story. I hear a
Okay.
why. What is it that got
Gotcha.
you here?
I'm the granddaughter of a missionary, and not traditional missionary.
Ah,
So I come from a family of nurses. And my
uh
grandmother,
huh.
our matriarch, at 42 with 9 kids, went back to nursing school. One of the first to come through, I
Wow.
think, at Birmingham Southern. And she didn't just go for herself. My grandmother drug every
Hmm.
able-bodied woman she could. So I'm telling you, when I go into a building and there's an older nurse there, especially around the west side of Birmingham, I can say my grandmother's name, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I remember Marie. Yeah, Marie told me this, and Marie told me that, and
Wow.
Marie told me this," and especially around Bessemer on the west side, because she
Uh
truly
huh.
realized that getting a lot of Black women during that time educated to sustain themselves will
Mm-hmm.
give them a different set of life, give them different exposure, give them a different ability,
Wow.
a different, basically, future for their kids and for their family. So I'm blessed. Like all of my grandmother's sisters are nurses. Um, Two of my aunts are
It's
nurses. How about
incredible.
this though? My mama is the one non-medical person.
Well, mom,
Mama
get
was
with the
the
picture,
one,
mom. Get
but
with
I
the
needed that.
program,
I
mom.
needed that because my
Come
mom
on,
brought
mom.
in more the business, the legal. She sold clothes. She owned stores. Like my mom taught me how to hustle. Okay, so I needed that too. You know, God gives balance. God gives balance. But my grandmother told me a long time ago. She said, "You're gonna be my doctor." I was like, okay, all right.
Mm.
I like science. I like learning. And then I realized when I reflect back, I was that kid on the playground sitting here diagnosing people when they fail or something like that and trying to help. So I can't say it's all me. It's all God. You know, we go over spiritual giftings
Right,
and
right,
talents and
right,
stuff like that. It is so God. It is so God.
right.
Even to be able to comprehend medical information, retain
Correct.
all of that. It is a whole nother language, and on top of each language that comes with each discipline of medicine. So I give God all the
I
glory
like
and all the
that.
credit for why I'm a doctor, because He apparently decided that I was going to be a doctor. He decided.
Yep, yep.
But
She's on the playground diagnosing people, guys.
I'm telling you. And so the other part was that I came from a family that would appear to be healthy, but had a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of medical conditions. Yeah, so I know
Right,
you've heard me talk
right.
about generational curses, and they're not just
Correct.
spiritual, they're medical, they're
No, no.
behavioral,
They're
and
medical.
it's so
Mm.
behavioral that that's the big part of it. It's so ingrained in what we do from day to day, the way we live, the way we operate, the way we think. So I
Right,
watched my
right.
grandma decide to snap out of it a little bit. You know, she had all her medical knowledge. She was a
Mm-hmm.
nurse. I want to say before she was 50 or right after 50, she had her first heart attack. Mhm.
Oh, wow.
All this medical knowledge, all this medical experience, and she had her first heart attack. So Granny made everybody change. You hear me? No
Mm-mm.
more
I can
pork,
see. I can
no more
see.
turkey inside the greens. You know? So she took what she did know. Grandma
Grandma,
went playing. Grandma went playing.
she
I'm
changed
telling you, grandma
everything.
dropped that weight and then she got on down. She had to get it together. She was trying to stick around. And glory be to God. That was what, when she was around 50? My grandma lived to be 92 years
Uh-huh.
old.
Wow. So she added 40 years
My
to her
God.
life by making
Yes.
a decision.
Yes.
By making, when I told you that your healing is in your hands, I wasn't
No.
just making a statement, guys. It's literally happened. She made
Yes.
a decision and added 42
Yep.
years to her life. Now, I want you guys to imagine, had this been
Mhm.
2025 with everything we have today, those 42 years may have been another
Mhm.
50 years. That's incredible, Dr. Sean, that a decision, the
Yes.
power that a
Yes.
decision has.
Yes. A choice to live, a choice
Say that
to
again. A choice to do
live,
what?
live.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. When it's so easy
Mhm.
to quit, it's so easy to give up. It's so easy. You mentioned the generational curses and the
Mhm.
generational thing. I look the same way you do. It's
Mhm.
behavioral. We have generation behaviors, and a lot of times it's a generation of behavior that's continuing. We say, "Oh man, my uncle was that way. My cousin was that way." That means no one
The cycle.
broke the
Exactly.
behavior.
And on one end, I sorry to
It
interrupt. I don't want to take any credit away from there are some genetic dispositions. There are some.
correct, correct.
However, there are some that are solid, they're large factors, but there's some small factors that still, once again, our behaviors between smoking, the foods that we eat, different things that we take
Correct.
in, those are then triggered to be positive based upon, once again, like you said,
Say,
the things that were in our own hands. Yeah.
you know what? I tell people that when it comes to
Hmm.
genetic dispositions, and I don't think a lot of people understand that, is whatever you're
Hmm.
around the most, whatever you've been around the most, whatever you've been born around the most, you are already born with those
Yes.
dispositions inside of you. And now you get around behaviors that trigger what's
Hmm.
already in you. I know
You're
I'm telling
telling
the
the truth.
truth.
You're
I
telling
know
the
it,
truth.
Doc. I know it. And it triggers what's inside you. And then all of a sudden you wonder why you start doing the things that
Yeah.
your grandma did, your uncle did, and your cousin did, because it's
Mhm.
already in you. And you're getting around something that triggers it. And that's why what you're saying, Doctor, we got to change up
Mhm.
here first. It's got to start up here. But Doc, we've been taught to grab a
Mm.
pill and a bottle, all these things. But I want to do this. I want to segue into this. I kind of want to discuss, and until I say we've been taught to do a
Mhm.
pill and a bottle, which brings me to this. I want to discuss the over
Mm.
reliance on prescription culture.
That's
There's
it.
actually a culture of over reliance on prescription medications. And what that means is this is defined as a culture that readily embraces pharmaceuticals as a primary solution for various ailments. And that's the kind of culture
Mhm.
we kind of have, that, oh, my head aches. Well, let me
Exactly.
go take a pill. My back aches. Let me take a pill. We immediately, and we've accepted that as that's the norm. And and then we pass it down to our child. That child passes it down to their child. And now that it becomes a behavior that we readily accept that pharmaceuticals as the
Mhm.
primary way to get rid of things. What have you seen over your tenure that has contributed to this type of culture or thinking, taking a pill kind of
Yeah.
for everything? For example, like drug advertising on social media. The more they pump those drug
Yeah.
advertisements out there, take this for this, and they run
Yeah.
past the side effects. Your side effects may be broken leg, your lung might not work, your eyes
Yeah.
might not blink, your toes may not curl up on you.
Yes, sir.
You say, I'd rather deal with my eyes not blinking
Yeah.
than to deal
And
with
so
that.
I feel like it's really a
What?
multifactorial answer. First, I'll come to the defense of my people. I think there are honest doctors out there who remember our training. In our
Of course.
training, we were always taught first, go for whatever dietary change, whatever behavior change you can make. Um, Always suggest the natural, the easiest. Why? Because we know one, that could be enough. Two, less side effects. Three, that's the thing that's going to be more
Mm,
sustained, the behavior changed. So we're always taught
mm,
that. But then what are you running to? You now have to adapt to the mind frame of the patient and the population that you're dealing with. So,
yep.
if I think back to even our grandparents' generation, you know, a lot of them, they were used to the farming. They were used to the growing what they were going to eat. They were patient and to the processes. They gave way to time. And now we're moving more towards a microwave generation, a click click computer generation. And so people want an instant gratification. And so being a provider, a lot of times a doctor may offer, hey, let's try this diet wise, let's work on this change here, 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 here. But I can tell you what honestly has happened multiple times. What's your faith that the person's actually going to do it? A lot of people just really aren't willing to commit to the change. So if a doctor has two options, either you stay there and try to really impede in front of the person the importance of this change, or you go ahead and just give the
Right.
medicine. And so honestly, and there's some
Mm,
situations, God knows I in the past life was guilty because it was like, I know this is going to help you, but I'm so worried of what's going to happen if you don't take something. So I'll
correct.
say, da da da, give this a try. Da da da. If this is not better, then try this. And then let's follow up in a few weeks. But I'm going to tell you, did you mention that word time? I say it. Time,
Mm,
time. I spend like 30
time.
minutes in the room with my patients. That's not normal. And a lot of doctors just can,
No,
no,
it's not.
no. And a lot of doctors can't afford it, especially when they're in private practice, not in typical setup. But it takes that for a person to hear what they're saying, honestly hear, and then honestly be able to dissect. And then also a provider that wants to be familiar enough, um,
Right.
understanding who they're talking to. I can't tell you, oh, let's go do some yoga. No, I may just need you to get up, touch your toes a little bit. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I
Yeah.
gotta be mindful.
Show me some
Yeah, you may have to be
flexibility.
mindful of where you are. And even right now, what I'm experiencing, the side of town you live on. Like right now,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying
Yep.
to implement a more organic or completely organic regimen for my patients. So what do I tell them to go eat? What do I go tell them to shop? What do I go tell them to buy? So anyway, so having to pay
Right.
attention to that.
Right.
But going back to the pill in the bottle, you're right. It's all over TV. So then, we have Google. God bless Dr. Google. God bless
Oh
Dr.
yeah.
Google. And in my profession, I've never been intimidated by Google. Honestly, Google is kind of responsible for how I got to my path, uh, because my patients were Googling. And if they Googled, I wanted to know what you were seeing. And then I wanted you to tell me what you were seeing.
Exactly.
And I wanted us to have a discussion. And so, but what you're saying
That's
is that
good.
Google's telling you, oh, they got the hottest medicine that can help you with this, and this. And yes, they can, but like you said, what about all these side effects? Da, 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 da. But I'll tell
Man.
you what I've experienced, unfortunately, people are willing to risk those side effects. They're willing to risk those side effects because they don't want
Wow.
to do the work or they've given up on doing the work. And then my life now tells me you may have been doing the work, but there's so many forces working against you that you're not even aware of. So really, we've got to peel
Wow.
off layers for you to even be able to get the results from the good stuff that you're doing. So, but it's
Right. That's
easy.
right.
It's microwave. I don't have to wait on it. The pill is right there. I can
Correct.
take it. There's instant gratification. From the doctor standpoint, I remember in med school, CAMS is what they call it, complementary alternative medicines. And yeah,
Right.
they
I
brought it
remember
up.
that.
And I remember thinking, oh, yeah, this is good. I dug in thinking we're going to have this big section on it. And it was this little small section. And I was like,
Yep.
okay. But what I understood or the feeling I got was it wasn't as trusted because it wasn't, science. We want it to be measurable. We want it to be reproducible. And so
That's the got to
got
be
to be reproducible.
that's the
And the
biggest part.
question is, who has invested enough money in a plant, an herb, in
See.
rosemary, or in thyme, or in berberine, or whatever? Berberine did finally get a good study, but who's invested enough time into that herb to put forth that money to get you that double blind study?
Correct.
It takes a
Correct.
lot of money to get that, which is why these people are bombarding everybody because they're like, hey, we got to make good on this investment we made. But unfortunately, the US is one of the few, big countries that allows the pharmaceutical companies to even advertise their people.
Yep.
So we open our people up for targeting and marketing.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, I hate to say that word because there was once upon a time, once again, because I told you this is very multifactorial. There's a part of me that really try to educate my patient. And there were some patients who didn't even know what newer medicines were available. And to me, that was a disservice because there were cleaner medicines, healthier medicines that were available, but some doctors didn't feel as though they would use them or they were too expensive or they didn't bother to change. Therefore,
Change.
you weren't offering my patient the better product.
Oh
If we're going
wow.
to be taking something,
Wow.
take something that works for me and that's better for me.
Wow.
So I had to, so that's one aspect where the marketing did make people aware that there's more out there, but
Correct.
it's a bit much. It's a bit
Yeah.
much. It's like putting a kid behind the wheel of a car and saying, "Hey, go drive this car.
Go drive this. Go drive
This
this
is
car.
you look like you should be able to drive it. You know this about it. Let's drive." And it's like, no,
You
there's
know
so
how to
many
honk the
facets.
horn.
Yeah, you can honk the horn. You got a key. You know how to put the key in the
Go
ignition.
drive.
Go drive. Yeah, but it's so much more to everything you take because everybody in the system is connected. So you're hitting one system and affecting another system, and that's kind
That's
of
right.
what's happening with all these side effects. And I feel as though
Correct.
they're the
Correct.
things that the double blind didn't tell you, or they're the things that the pharmaceutical company wants to minimize, or
Correct.
and sometimes it's risk versus benefit, which is how I've prescribed, and I've had to tell myself, because I know I'm saving your heart, go drink some extra water. Let's try to protect those kidneys.
Yep.
But if you could do it healthier, why
Exactly.
not? Why not?
It, and that goes back to what we're talking about. Take that peel first
Yes.
mindset, and
Yes.
that take that peel first culture that we all grew up in. Because
hmm
if you say I got a headache, they're gonna say, I'm not gonna mention the brand, but they'll say go take that for your
hmm
headache.
hmm
And even if it's not that pill
Yes.
particularly by that name,
Yes.
you're gonna call it that because it's pill first, it's that bottle first, it's that cream first, it's that first.
Yes.
And you mentioned, we talked about that pill first kind of mentality. When I was researching on this, Dr. Sean, I found something called the medicalization of daily
Oh,
life.
yeah.
The medicalization of daily life. And guys, this is pretty. When I'm researching this and I found this, I was like, whoa! It blew me away. The
Mhm.
medicalization of daily life is normal aspects of life, such as aging, stress, or even natural functions like childbirth, are
Mhm.
increasingly viewed as conditions
Hmm.
requiring medical intervention, especially with prescription drugs. A pill to get up, a pill to go to sleep, a pill to go to work, a pill to come home from work, and they're seeing it as conditions, quote unquote. It's a
Mhm.
condition. It's normal life. Aging is normal life. Now, I'm not stating that there aren't moments where you may need that,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is to have the mindset, well, I'm just going to do this first. And that's where a lot of us are dealing with things because we make that the first choice. And I need a pill just to move, just to get this. And it's the medicalization of just everyday things.
Travis, are you calling people soft and lazy?
Hey, I'm just saying,
I,
man.
I feel like you're
I'm
calling people
I'm
soft
just
and lazy.
I'm just
Is what
saying.
I call. I feel like you're calling folks
You,
soft and
you, you
lazy,
you know what
Travis.
I do when I get a headache? The first thing I do, I know I need sleep. If I get a
Come on.
backache,
Thank
when
you.
when I get a
Thank you.
backache, the first thing I know
Thank
I
you.
need more water.
Thank
So
you.
that's my kidney telling me I
Thank
need
you.
you to go
Thank you.
get some more water, and you'll
Thank you.
stop hurting. And literally, I go drink 3 bottles of water, and my back stops hurting because I
Yeah.
already know what the issue is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, we should begin listening to our bodies.
Mhm.
Your body will tell you what's going on.
And I'll tell you, so soft and lazy are not fair. They're not fair. Lazy in the sense of I don't want to be overly hard on people because some people don't know. Once again, I don't want to ever take for granted that I grew up around knowing the people I know. I don't want to ever take for granted that I had a mother who would tell me go drink some water, go have a bowel movement, go get some sleep or
Wait
rest.
a
You know
minute.
what I mean? Sit down
She would
somewhere.
tell, she would tell you.
Yeah,
Yo, man, my grandmother used to do the same thing. She would give
yeah.
us castor oil.
It's truth. I do that now. If a
Oh
patient
my
has a headache, my
God.
first question is, did you drink some water? My next question is, do you need a bowel movement? Have you had a bowel movement? And then my third question is, how much sleep have you gotten? And then next one, I guess the fourth will be, have you eaten? I'm so serious. And I can't even say the percentage, but a high amount of people, their issue with their headache or even a migraine sometimes is out of those four triggers.
Yeah. What have you been eating? Again,
Mhm.
all those predisposed triggers
Yeah,
that's already in your body. If you
yeah.
look at your history in your family and you can see the pattern, you don't
Mhm,
need to be a doctor. Just
mhm,
see the pattern and you
mhm,
know, okay, there's some predisposed stuff in my
mhm.
family. If
Yeah,
I continue along the path that they have done, I might end up like that. I might
yeah,
end up in the same spot, and I don't want to. And it goes to I may not know, but I
exactly.
can find out. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't find out.
But you know what? And this is where I feel like this is why God has us. Because there's some people, they're so, in the forest, they can't see the trees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
They're there. And they don't know anything else. And they have accepted that this is the only way. And
Only way.
yeah, and so this is where um, I am absolutely passionate about when I hear something to try to drizzle a little truth on it
Right,
with a lot
right.
of love and compassion. Because some people, when you know better, they will do better. They want to do better. But if you grew up in a house where all they did was give you a pill, that's what you know to
That
do.
is your
And
better. That is your
yeah, that
better.
is your better. Exactly. Because at least you're doing something. You're not just sitting there with the issue, your leg and sitting
Right.
there rotting off. You're trying to do something. So, I have to be fair to say that's why they need us. They need you to
Correct.
educate that there's other ways. And they need me to sit down and try to say, okay, where are you? What do you know? Let me help you to understand these different things, and then it be a conversation and a dialogue back and forth.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And that's how it works, where you can benefit, where people can benefit from it the most.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, Dr. Sean. I'm curious. Actually, what do you think the average person really is looking for when they go to the doctor? And I'm gonna say that
Mm.
I'm gonna put it this way first. No,
Okay.
um, better yet, no. I want you to answer that question first, because then I'm gonna follow behind you. So, what do you think that the
Okay.
average person is looking for when they go to the doctor?
Okay. So that's hard because typically I would say you got at least three types of patients going to walk into your office. So your first type may be, hey, I'm relatively healthy
Uh huh.
and I am trying to do the best I can to either fight off those generational curses or to just stay on top of my health because I want to age gracefully. I want to live life to the best of my ability.
Right.
We love those people. We love those people. And then we have the people that come into office because I had to. Well,
Oh
I won't
yeah.
even go to had to
Yeah.
yet. No, no, no. Let me do this. I'm checking my boxes, meaning I have insurance. They say I'm supposed to come to a doctor once a year. So here I am. I'm presenting myself. By the way, I do have some things I would like to talk to you about and ask some questions. So,
Uh
at least
huh.
they're open. They're open,
Right.
and they willingly came. Then there's some because they had to. They had to.
There's no choice.
Like they had no choice. Like the toe was falling off. Um, they could not breathe. Or their wife or significant other
Madam,
made them.
you better
Made
go.
them. So in those scenarios, like your first person, they're like, how do I optimize myself? How do I make myself my best
Right.
self? I'm trying to live long. The second person is okay, yeah, how can I do a little better? Is there better? What's that look like for me? And depends on how hard I'm gonna work. That last one, tell me I'm good so I can walk out the door. Tell me I'm good so I can walk out the door. So, but in all scenarios, I think at the end of the day, what somebody wants is want somebody to listen,
Mm, exactly.
listen. And I feel like this is going to be the jump that humans will have on the computer. Like I know how you say something, the way you say it with your intonation and how you say it says everything. It's
Everything.
everything. And then muddled between broken English and ebonics
Oh yeah,
and
man.
cultural versions and even just people who speak a foreign language than the native English tongue. Um, Basically, even that and having to relay between body language what
Correct.
somebody's saying
Correct.
and what their true intent is. That is part of what somebody comes from to be understood. Um, and then I feel as though an honest opinion about where
Absolutely.
they are in their situation. And then people come for hope.
Absolutely.
They come for
Absolutely.
hope. They come for hope.
Absolutely. Uh, when people, a lot of times, in addition to what you're saying, Dr. Sean, what I find also, Dr. Sean,
Hmm.
is when we go to, let's say we go to the pharmacy,
Hmm.
you got a backache, told her your bee stung you or something. When we go or we have a prescription, we taking that prescription
Hmm.
to the pharmacist, and we place it on the counter. And when we go to the pharmacy and we get that bottle of pills for a headache or a backache or a cream or a patch to put
Hmm.
on something, what we're looking for sometimes is, like you said, is an answer,
Hmm.
because we go there with questions. That prescription, let me help you out, everybody. Get closer. That prescription represents questions. That prescription represents a question, and you go to the pharmacy, you go to the doctor because you want an answer.
Hmm.
Your prescription is a question. It's questioning what's going on in your body. It's a question of what's happening to you. And it's a question that you don't have an answer to. It's a question that made you scratch your head. It's a question that made you go to the doctor because you didn't have a choice. It's a question that said, well, no, I feel pretty good, but I need to optimize my health. Yeah, it's a question. So
Hmm.
your prescription is a question that you want to answer to. So when you go to the pharmacy, like you said, Doc, we're looking to be heard, to be
Hmm.
validated, to
Hmm.
be acknowledged, and we're looking for an answer. And maybe that's it, Dr. Sean. Maybe that's it. We have become so accustomed
That's what I want to say.
to having
That
a
prescription.
pre-packaged answer.
Yeah.
We've become so accustomed to having a pre-packaged answer. We
Mhm.
go to the pharmacist, we give them a slip of paper, or we wait till the doctor call it in, and they give us that prescription, and they put it in a nice, pretty bottle with our name and our address on it, or they pull something off the shelf and give it to us that's already labeled, already got all the ingredients in it. Do this 3 times a day, 2 times a day. We've become so accustomed to having pre-packaged answers that it becomes the only answer that we are willing to accept. What if, I just want to ask everybody this question. What if your answer didn't come pre-packaged? What if the answer that you needed didn't come in a bottle? What if the answer you needed didn't have your name typed out on it? What if the answer that you needed was not pre-packaged? Would you still be willing to take it?
I'm going to tell you. So, for quite some time, that is the issue. A lot of patients, they're expecting to have something. I want something in my hand.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll write out on a sheet of paper, or I'll put it on the prescription pad so they would, because they would see the importance was, to me, was just as important as that prescription pill. Because you're right. Some people, they don't want to leave without an antibiotic. You have no
No.
idea the arguments I have had with people about, no, you need some nasal rinsing, and we're going to work on this allergy, and we're going to do this. And how about stop being around that person that's smoking? Just the basics.
I know, right?
Can we just do the basics? And then if you gotta have that, let me do it then. And then I've just, as a provider, had to own it. That's what you're here for. You don't know any better.
Yep, that part.
Let me help you.
Yep.
Let me help you. Because when you do what I'm trying to help you to do, you're gonna do better.
You know what I learned, Dr. Shaw?
Mhm.
Generally, people want to do better. Generally, people will, when you educate people, generally they will do better. They want to do better. I go into it believing people absolutely want to do better. People who are watching this show want to do better. People who talk to you, they want to do better. And you say, okay, but don't go back to the same environment. Don't go back to the same thing. And listen, you may not be able to control the environment to go wrong, because they may live with you, they may work with you. You may not be able to control the environment, but you can control your response. Let me say that for the people in the back. You might not be able to control the environment, but you can control your response. You can control how you respond to it. And doc, let me help you out. A lot of times, doc, whenever I felt sick, felt bad, whatever is going on, whether it was physically, emotionally, mentally, the problem wasn't the environment. The problem was my response to the environment. What did I do? What was I thinking? Have you ever done something and then it backfired and you ask yourself, what was I thinking?
Oh, God, yeah.
What in the world was on my mind? Have you ever had some friends and then it broke off, and then later on you have this self-reflection? You go, how in the world were we ever friends? What in the world was I thinking? And that's the relationship we have with our health. We have a on again, off again relationship with our health, and then we get better. Go, what in the world was I ever thinking? What made me think that would be healthy for me? And that being said, when and where, or when and what made you begin to question the prescription first model of care?
So we're going to call it the sick care treat model. Wow, this evolution has been um, amazing. It's all a God thing. It's nothing
I
shy
love
of
it.
a God thing. I have to throw him under the bus each and every time. I throw him in front of me because
I don't think he has a problem with you
yeah,
throwing
I
him
throw
under
him
the bus.
in
So.
front of me every time. Every time. You can't call yourself a holistic doctor, and then when you find something more holistic than you, you're not chasing.
Ooh.
So that's what happened. And
Boom.
it was because I was listening to my patients. Remember I told you they would tell me what they were reading and I'd go look it up. It was because I was doing research or looking and hearing the whys and the how so's and trying to understand a little bit more.
I like
Um,
that.
it was my patient that I could not fix. And not saying I'm God, I'm not supposed to fix somebody, but
Right, right.
when I checked all my boxes and the event still happened, what was still there that I was missing? And I've got some patients where I'm like, you are holding inflammation somewhere. Your immune system's going crazy somewhere. There is something triggering your body, and I don't understand what it is. Those things made me look deeper into what other options and medicines are there. And from there, I started looking at, naturopathic, herbalists, Dr. Sabi, started looking at functional medicine. Um, and from there started really discovering, man, there are people who are truly treating and truly preventing by going a little bit deeper than what I was doing, going a little bit more beneath the surface than where I was going in order to truly cut it off at the root. That phrase is so true. There are just so many processes going on in our body that if we cut it off at the root, we can stop the diabetes. We can stop the Crohn's from causing symptoms. We can stop it from happening. So once I saw I could do better for my patients, for my family, for everyone around me, I had to do that. And someone asked me, said, why didn't you just, integrate it into your patient, into your practice? I did. But the reality, as long as that pill was an option, as long as the quick fix was an option, people wanted to move towards that.
Mm-hmm.
So here at Garrison Wellness, the objective is to create the environment where your
I like
natural healing, your natural path is the only answer.
that.
I
Ooh, I
can't
like
say the only answer, but it is the dominant answer because there's a place for medicine. There's a time and a place for it, but I feel as though the over dependence on it
correct.
has been the issue and has created itself an issue. When you look at the economy, questions about Medicare, recalls
Michigan.
on medicine, if a patient's going to be able to get a medicine,
Can they even get? Yeah, can they even get
and you
their
to get the medicine.
medicine?
I'm telling you, when the shortages and recalls, I started shuffling and I was shuffling. I spent so much time just having to
Hmm.
shuffle my patients' medicines around to just get them something consistent they could have in
Correct.
the regimen. And one day I woke up and I said, Lord, if I can't prescribe a thing, what kind of doctor am I?
Mm, mm,
That
mm.
set me in a moment, a whole moment. But my faith tells me, God, you'll send me out in the wilderness, in the woods, God. You'll tell me what berry to grab, and we'll go from there. And the Lord said, how about you start studying it now?
How about you just start studying?
How
I was
about you
going
just start studying it now?
since you're going to ask me about it, let me go ahead and show you. Since you really want to know, I'm gonna test you and
I
I'm gonna
tell
put
you,
you out there.
I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Go, go study them juices and berries. That's what I want you to go do.
It's like you said, I've been waiting on you to ask me
Yeah,
that question.
yeah. Yeah. And then having the time to where if your mental and your spiritual are truly
Right,
what's clogging up your health, this is a space where we're going to sit down and make time for it. And then having the staff and the people who can, I may not be able to sit with you 3, 4 times a week, but I'll have coaches and people who can.
correct.
So then you're getting that consistent impulse of healthy knowledge, influence, environment to help truly propagate this new healthy life for you or the better healthy life for you. So, Garrison Wellness is a God thing and a God place. In the name, it means the place of the promise, the
I like
altar of
that.
the
I
blessing.
like that.
So this is what I feel as though God is wanting this to be for people is your place to get your healthy blessing of your health so you can revitalize your life so you
Right.
can live that healthy best life, have the energy to go outside with your kids or your
Exactly.
grandkids, be
Exactly.
able to walk through Walmart and not get tired.
Tired.
There's some things that are chronic and I won't be able to change it, but I guarantee we can knock a layer off of it and you can redeem a lot of your life that you may have lost.
What I like about what you said, one of the things that you said, and you dropping so many wonderful nuggets, Doc. So many. You just, I mean, as you would do. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Homage to you. If you know, you know.
Yes.
Doc, you mentioned the spiritual side, the mental side, and what a lot of people may not be aware of is a lot of illnesses that we wrestle with and we fight with. The connection between our spirit and our minds, or our faith and our belief, can all be tied in that. Because here it is. I want you to think about this, people. Regardless of whatever your faith is, regardless of whatever your faith is, if you don't feel that you are in a good place with your faith spiritually, it's going to cause anxiety. Anxiety is then going to cause more stress on the body. Now your blood pressure is elevated, and now you can't concentrate. Now you have fog in the mind, and now all these things that I just mentioned are a lot of people's first mindset. Let me go grab a pill, instead of let me get my heart and my spirit aligned better.
Exactly.
If I get this done, I won't have no stress. If I don't have no stress, my blood pressure won't be high. My blood pressure won't be high. I won't have no anxiety. And I won't have be in danger of a heart attack or a stroke because my blood pressure is so high. So there is a strong, and listen, there's a documented connection
Oh yeah.
between medical healing or medical health and a person's belief system. The way you believe can also impact the way that you live. Let me say that again. The way that you believe will also impact the way that you live. Now, this being said, we talked about you getting out there and you're doing this holistic part. What's something that you now see as medicine that you never learned in med school?
Oh, detoxing. Detoxing. I think someone was recanting the history of all the toxins and like, when did we start having this issue and when did we start having that issue? Oh, when they started putting high fructose corn syrup and everything. Oh, when they started releasing and saying that this chemical was okay in this. Oh, when they started allowing this. Oh, when they started allowing that. So it's I feel as though once upon a time, doctoring maybe in the early 1980s, 1970s, wouldn't have had this issue of worrying about detoxing because the toxins were not so rapid in our environment, in our foods, our soil, um, everything around us, our cleaning sprays, our aerosols, our perfumes, our deodorants, then the list just goes on. And so, how, on one end, that can overwhelm you and say, what's the use? And on the other end, let it empower you and say, I'm going to make better choices. Yes, we cannot put ourselves in a bubble. That's not an option. But what choices can I make? And that goes back to my comment about us not being soft, not playing the victim. Travis was saying to choose to take responsibility for your reaction and your response. And so we know these things are there. And now we can respond by getting them out of our system safely and progressively, and then making healthier choices to keep them out of our body. And by detoxifying your body, you release so many natural factors that the good Lord has put in your body for healing, for balance, for cognition, and just thinking clearer. There's just so many things that we're doing to our body, and we don't even know that we're doing it. So detoxifying detox would have to be that thing for me.
That, you know what, and for people who maybe say, well, I don't know what detoxing is, I don't know what
Mhm,
all that is. Let me help you guys out. I'm gonna put it in a language that you may have heard. You
mhm,
could do simple fasting. If you're fasting from sugar, you're detoxing your body. If
mhm,
you're fasting from sodium, you're
mhm,
detoxing your body. And let me take it deeper, since we're talking holistically. You
mhm.
could, if you're detoxing from negativity, guess what?
Ooh.
You are detoxing your body, because then your brain has this whole thing called neuroplasticity.
Mhm,
Your brain is like putty. It's like putty. It will begin to stretch and grow, and it can be shaped into whatever you want to. Whatever thoughts you begin to think the most of, your brain will then seek out that kind of thought. Your brain will look for those kind of thoughts. If you enjoy being around things that are positive and repeating things that are positive, your brain will look for the positivity in everything that you're doing. I don't care where you go around, because you have shaped it. You have molded it, and it began to look for those positive things. Maybe right now there's somebody that's listening that say, you know what, I need a little positivity in my life. Maybe it's not the other person. Maybe your next thought is the thing that helps you get better. Maybe the next thought that you got is the thing that put a smile on your face. Well, I haven't smiled in a long time. If you're waiting for somebody to make you smile, do me a favor. Pick up your phone, look in your camera, and smile at yourself. Nobody give you a bigger smile than you. And nobody make you feel better about yourself than you can. If you need a smile, smile at
yourself. And a smile brings in so many positive hormones and responses. It's such a beautiful thing. And as an opposite, then stress brings in cortisol, makes you gain weight, makes you do all these things.
That's it. And a lot of people have done that, Doc. And I watched a show where people they're challenged in their weight, and they're depressed, they're sad, they don't enjoy their lives, and they increase the cortisol. Like, man,
it's a vicious cycle. And so once again, that's why I'm sitting over in this building now. It's a cycle. It's a cycle, Lord. And like you were talking about the detox, that every detox isn't the same, and there are multiple ways and multiple things you need to detox from. But there's a way to do the detox and heal your body and heal your spirit. But I just want to go back to one of the things I feel like for you and I, we can find that light. Because we have an ultimate hope. And that's my challenge for anybody who's watching this. Faith gives you hope. In this crazy world where there is no certainty, job could drop you in a heartbeat. The insurance could go in a heartbeat.
I know, right?
Stores can close in a heartbeat. All these things can happen just like this. But with faith, there's a certainty that you have to know that you're going to be okay. Why? Because God said so. And for many of us who are believers, it doesn't just go from he said so. I say, yes, Jesus loves me, for my life tells me so. And it's not because I'm a doctor. It's because of all the ways that God has come through for me. That I can say it was nobody. I'm not going to use proper grammar. Right? It was nobody but God.
Come on, Doc.
Nobody but God. Supernatural. God. Therefore, when I'm faced with foolish situations in life, looking at a closed door, or looking at an illness that looks like it's going to be permanent or for death and not for life. When I'm in those situations, I can say, you know what? My God did this special thing right here.
Come on, Doc.
My God came through for me. So I'm just going to dig in. I'm going to plant my heels, get planted. I'm going to calm myself. I'm going to pray, and I'm going to seek the God that made it all.
Come on, y'all. Listen, guys, y'all think Dr. Sean's just talking fluff. Listen, I've seen Dr. Sean in action. I've seen her save someone's life. Literally, I've seen her say, this woman revived someone. And when she got through reviving them, this woman started praising God. I've never, she jumps up and began, and listen, she's the real deal. She's not just talking, man.
Wow.
I seen her revive someone, get up and had full church service all by herself.
I don't even look. I wouldn't have even thought about it. I wouldn't even thought about it.
She didn't give it a second thought. She didn't give it a second thought. She revives this person, brings them back to life, brings them back on this side, gets up, and as easy as putting a stethoscope around her neck, she gets up and pop. Hold on, wait a minute, man, what's going on here? You know,
I give credit to who deserves it.
And it's because of things like that, Dr. Sean. And I believe that you have launched a bold new business. A bold new venture. Tell us how it works. How do
Okay.
you blend holistic tools with science-backed care to address the whole individual
Oh,
and not just the symptoms first?
okay. So I think we've been talking about it.
Yep.
It starts with an education. Lord, I get so biblical on this thing. I can't help it. Like honestly, I think about 2 years ago or sometime, I said, I don't even know how to do this without you, Lord. So I'm not even if you can't handle the God moments, you're in the wrong place. Because I'm gonna drop this medical moment on you. But this God moment has to come because it starts with a renewing of your mind.
Yeah. Your
It
mind.
starts with a renewing of your mind. So it starts with a confession of where you are now.
Yeah, you go. See,
It's
I'm talking
you got
about.
to confess about where you are now. Where are you? What you need help with? And then
Uh-huh.
we're going to start the education of what you need to do. And then how do we implement things? And we may have to pace it. So this is the individual effect of it all. On one end, there's the mind body. So we're going to be talking to figure out where you are and if you need spiritual help, do you need a little bit more counseling? But then medically,
Absolutely.
also trying to figure out if there's some key deficiencies that I may need to address first. So it's all individualized, all a conversation. But then from there, I'm really boosting everybody on the program and the process.
Awesome.
Um, and so to really get everybody cleaned up, man, because once we get cleaned up, there's some things that we may not even have to worry about.
Right, right,
So
right.
once we get things in balance, and that goes to that wellness wheel, it's not just your heart, lungs, gut, it's your mind, it's your environment, it's your relationships, it's how do you feel in your
Absolutely.
career, it's how do you feel like you are economically and
Oh, that's
socially.
good. That's
If you're
good.
giving back, it's such a, I love the wellness wheel because it is that balance that
I
truly
love it.
allows people to find true joy and happiness with where they are. So, with that, I'll invite people in for either a education talk. From there, once you kind of understand what we're doing here at GERSM, then from there we can set you up for the individualized appointment to go over a strategy. And honestly, that appointment is also to just see if your mind is ready. See if your mind is ready in the right place because we can help everybody. But I want to make sure that you've got the right mind frame that you're ready to receive what we're ready to give. And then from there, we start the program, man, and we start the coaching. We've got our website going. We're trying to keep it simple, Gary'sMWellnessMD.com. So it's really easy. And on there at the bottom, there's a contact us page. We're not open yet, but we're set to launch on July 31st. Woo, 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 woo.
Woohoo!
Apostle was challenging me because I previously had a 24th launch
Uh-huh.
date, and he talked about the 25th and it's done. So I'm like, do I just go ahead and put a date for the 25th? I don't know. So look, it may be a few people starting on the 25th. I may have a pilot study in on the 25th just so I can be in the
Oh,
it is
that would be
done.
cool. Now
Yeah,
that would actually be cool. A
yeah,
pilot study to begin
a pilot group.
and right
Yeah,
before the
yeah,
actual launch.
yes.
But
Oh,
this
good.
is your website and it looks
Yes.
wonderful
Thank
here,
you.
guys. Absolutely
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Guys, I was
Proud
on
Purpose
here
50
earlier.
seven. Yeah.
I know I was on here earlier. You can book a discovery call,
Mhm,
contact you right here. Just hit that
mhm,
contact button,
mhm.
and you can start. Look at that, contact us. This is a wonderful website. This looks fantastic. It tells what services that you offer. Look at that,
Oh, I
guys.
didn't even mention that. Yeah. So forgive me. Forgive me for interrupting. So on there at the bottom is about stem wave. So, you know,
Mm.
I guess I was one of the lone soldiers. I can say it now because I don't have to worry about it. I still prescribe pain meds. And
Wow.
I did it shamelessly. I did because I had my little old ladies and my little old men, or my people who've just been banged up and broken up. They
Uh-huh.
couldn't take the anti-inflammatories, couldn't take
Right.
this, and they were hurting so bad they couldn't get out of bed. So it wasn't just to go take a pill and lay down. It was to give someone something to relieve their pain enough to go to the grocery store, to
Oh
get up and
wow.
cook, to take a bath, to feel like going with your grandchildren. And it would be watching people as their blood pressure would be up here, and then you calm their pain and their blood pressure goes down.
Oh
They
wow.
can breathe. They're making it to church. I'm gonna say this again. They're making it to church because they weren't going to
Wow.
church because they were hurting too bad. So I still gave payments. I did. I did. I was slinging drugs. I was to my patients legally, writing them as prescribed,
He said,
having them
wait
do
a
the
minute.
follow up. You know what I mean? I was trying, Jesus. But I thank God now I have stem wave, which is another way of stimulating somebody's natural healing. Um,
Hmm.
the process and being at Garazim, we're going to target your natural inflammatory properties anyway to get them
Mm.
suppressed to where your arthritis and your pain is going to decrease significantly. So some people won't even need it. But for those who may have some minor injuries or some pains
Hmm.
that you've been to the chiropractor or to the therapist and they're talking surgery, or you just don't want another needle stuck inside your body, this technology is beautiful because I love it for the accuracy of nothing else. It it diagnoses as it treats.
Oh
You
wow, that's
only
pretty
get the
good.
sensation in the area that's bothered and that's injured. You don't get the sensation anywhere else. So it's so cool.
Wait a minute. You it's almost localized then. It
It's
so
absolutely localized.
man,
So
do you know
yeah,
how much better that is
yes,
if you only getting it in your only in your knee? It
yeah,
is localized. So
yes.
man,
Yeah.
are you
No
kidding me?
needles, no bruising, no pain. It's just a series of treatments that stimulate your body to do its own natural healing in that area to repair whatever's going on. About 8 to 12 sessions for most people. So I'm really excited once again to have a non-medication, non-surgical option to offer people to
Wow.
really help them sustain their healthiest, best life. Yeah,
That alone is worth contacting you. That alone
yeah,
is worth doing it. I'm asking something real quick though, Doc.
yes.
Are you since you're doing holistic healing and
Mhm.
health and everything, are you able to share a story with us? I know I've heard one
Oh,
from
gotcha,
you. Share a
gotcha.
story with us. Let's say even if it's a personal one, even if it's a
Yeah.
personal one, in which this bold new approach helped in a way that traditional care did not.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. I can start with myself.
Testify,
Look, I can start
testify.
with myself. You remember we were talking about those generational curses,
Yep, I do.
and so for myself, it I would tell people at my healthiest self, I had to be
Hmm.
placed on blood pressure medicine again
Mm.
because I had gotten off of it once, and then again had to get back on medicine, and that was so frustrating. And I for a moment capitulated. For
Mm.
those who don't know what capitulate means, it means to surrender.
Yeah,
I
you just gave
surrendered.
in. You just gave into it.
That
Yeah.
this is where I am. This runs in the family. I'll do the best I can, but really maybe this is where I am. And I'll be
Mm.
honest with you, in that surrender, I kind of got lax.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, you do.
And so I had to, in this path, had to snap it back together. The Lord was like, no, ma'am, you can do better. And so honestly, went from two, maybe two and a half medicines to now we're almost off of this other one. I get mad because every now and then it will spike back up and I'm like, go back down. You just got to go back down
Go back
because
there.
look, because I had to redo my process. I had to step it up a little bit. So I'm redoing it for myself. And I'm pretty confident that I'm there. Give me another week and I'll be there, and it's going to be off. But for my coaches and the team I work with, and some of the providers I work with, them themselves, like one of them had Crohn's. Anybody
Mm.
who knows Crohn's, big inflammation, tearing up the lining of the stomach. Immediately, a lot of times they go for big medications, cancer meds, in order to suppress the immune system. A lot of times,
Mhm.
and these people have a lot of pain, blood in their stools, just can be very uncomfortable until controlled.
Oh wow.
So the young lady went from Crohn's, looking at starting medications, went through the program, went through the process, got herself on this healthy, natural path. No meds, no meds,
Mm.
no
Mm.
meds. I've had patients with diabetes that when they got it together and got it cleaned up, and I want to say got it together, but they made a choice.
Yeah,
It's more than together. You have to make a choice and be intentional about wanting to live and how do you want to live.
exactly.
That's what you're saying. How do you want to live? What quality of life? Some people
What
just living. I don't
just
want to just
living.
live.
Yeah, just existing. You
Yeah,
just
I
here.
want to I want to enjoy my life to the fullness of life. And for many of us, so that we can do what we're supposed to do. And then my big thing is, and what kind of legacy are you leaving your kids?
Behind. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
a lot of things we carry that's affecting our health, even for the moms while you're pregnant, you're go ahead and putting those triggers into your kids.
Already.
The cells already, exactly. Yeah,
Yep.
they're already being triggered or being predisposed to certain
Yep.
ailments and issues in the womb in vitro. So in vivo. So yeah, so it's a choice. It's a choice, and so I've seen people who've made that choice, and it's guiding them to a healthier, happier outcome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Uh, it we began this show talking about a choice. We began the show talking about how the choice that your grandmother made, and it gave her 42 more years of her life.
Yes.
So again, guys, it's a choice.
Hmm.
We I mentioned earlier that we've been trained. We have actually been trained and have a culture where we've been trained to trust the bottle, the prescriptions. And we're not saying get rid of your stuff. We've
Oh.
been trained that, though. We've been trained to trust
Ooh.
the bottle,
Yeah.
prescriptions, over the counter relief, fast track fixes, those quick hits we've been talking about. But what if the true antidote isn't
Yes.
something that you swallow? I want
Hmm.
to drop this on everybody. What if the true antidote to what you're dealing with? What if it isn't something that you swallow? What if it's something that you cream that you rub on you? What if that's not the true antidote? What if the true antidote isn't that? What if it's something you reclaim?
Mm.
We talked about earlier predisposed things, and I'm just going to do it because this is, as Doc said, I'm going to do it. This is just where I am. I'm just this. This is where, and there are many people right now who are listening.
Yes.
You're listening right now, and you're saying, "Well, this is just where I am right now, Travis. I'm 50 years old. This is just where I am. I'm 30 years old. This is where I'm 80 years old. This is just this is." And I know right now in your life, you're saying, "This is just where I am." I get it. I know right now there are people who are watching and listening. And in the back of your mind, you guys, you're saying, guys, I hear what y'all saying. I
Hmm.
like what you're saying, but this is just where I am. There are people right now who are dealing with this is just where I am. But what if your antidote isn't
Hmm.
a pill that you swallow? What if it isn't that? What if it's something that you reclaim?
Yes.
What if it's something that you get back? We have we haven't been talking about taking or getting rid of your medicines, but breaking free from that one size fits all script of medicine, from that message, because the message has been kind of clear, Doc. The
Hmm.
message is clear. Real healing
Hmm.
doesn't come with a childproof cap. I'm going to
No, it
drop
is that.
that right there. Doctors are visionaries.
Hmm.
You are a visionary. You're starting your new business. You're visionaries. What is your vision for the
Yeah.
future of medicine?
You know, there's a hope. Can I say the hope? The hope. And you feel the winds of change blowing.
Uh huh.
A lot of people got really guarded about the changes that happened in the medical area with the new political administration.
Right, right.
And this is once again, I love being up under our house. God bless Apostle Stephen A. Davis and Refresh Nation.
Refresh.
I'm just gonna
There we
have to.
go.
I can't
Shameless plug.
because what faith has taught us and what our leader reiterates is in the face of the things that you can't change, look for what it can do to benefit you. What is this
Ooh.
moment trying to teach you? What can you learn? So for myself, I saw where the administration is showing you should not trust necessarily in traditional setting.
That part.
That the person that disarmed the CDC from vaccine recommendations and all of this is telling you that there's something not to trust in the traditional setup. That you better go get it for yourself and stand
You
on your
better
own 2 feet.
do something different.
And I'm going to challenge, not even to go get it for yourself, go get it for your community.
There you go. That's it.
Back in the day, and so this is going to be my answer. It's going to be I'm hoping for a recap of the past to blend with the present to give a better future.
Absolutely.
In the past, our grandparents, they ate more natural. They were active. They did
Come
things.
on,
They
come
had a
on,
sense of
come on.
community. They took care of each other. They cared about what was going on. They owned things. They bought things. They controlled things. They
Say
they
it, say
they
it.
created the environment they wanted to have because they were doing it not for themselves. They were doing it for their kids, for their legacy.
Absolutely,
So they were
absolutely.
passionate about it. They were
Mm,
passionate about leaving something better for the next generation. And so my prayer is that we will reignite that
I like
path,
that.
blended with the knowledge and the science of the present. There's a lot of things
That's
we have
good.
done. Antibiotics do make a difference. Vaccines, in the original form and when they first came out, manufactured the way they first were manufactured didn't cause all these issues or that they're
Yep,
they're suggesting. I feel like it's the ingredients and it's the tainting over time and the
absolutely.
properties and the preservatives of things that are causing issues. So there's some things that modern day medicine have blessed us with.
Absolutely.
Surgeries and procedures that have truly helped people's lives, cardiac procedures for babies born without valves and different things. There are things that modern medicine has blessed us with, but in that we got laxed and we lost that independence and that sense of self responsibility for our health and our self determination that the older generation had. So my prayer is that we'll regather some of that self determination. And I love the entrepreneurs these days and these new generations. They are trying to be entrepreneurs and trying to do things. But my challenge to y'all would be go see what some of those old folks did. Something made them successful. All of our great grandmamas owned a house or owned something or had something versus our generation these days, a lot of people are just renting. Back then, they were able to live on the farm by themselves to 89 and 90 and 100 years old. Now people are getting dementia at 45 and 50 and 60 years old going into nursing homes. So even though we've got all this technology, they were doing something right. They did something right. And so that's what I want to reclaim. And the prayer is that in the future, technology, here it comes. Technology will help us to do some things easier, to be smarter and not work harder. So the prayer is that as we gather some of the tools from the past,
Uh huh.
incorporate with some of our knowledge now, utilize some of the tools from the future, that maybe we will be able to create a better health system in medicine. But we've got to get back to the basics. We've got to get back to our roots, get
Man, what
back
you
to
say?
nature, to take responsibility for the things that we put in our environment, our foods, our soil, our schools, everywhere. And we've got to
Mm,
clean
mm,
it
mm.
up. Because if not, it's going to affect everybody. Everybody. I can't say, it's hard to say when it's in the soil
Right.
if it's not going to affect everybody. And so
Mm,
that's my
mm.
prayer. That's my prayer that enough people are rattled by what's going on politically to open their eyes and receive some of the tools from the past to use them for the present and incorporate them for the future.
Guys, listen. I told you this was gonna be a good episode. I
Mhm.
told you, I told you, Dr. Sean's gonna be good. Y'all thought I was joking, man. Y'all thought
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
why y'all thought I was joking. I don't know why you thought I was joking. Dr. Sean, what is we had your website up. I'm gonna put it back
mhm,
up again. Uh, here's your website right here for those who didn't get a chance to see it. Here's the website right here, guys. Garizim. It's real simple, guys. GarizimWellnessMD.com. And I'm going to spell that out for those who are not watching. It
mhm,
is GERIZIM, then the word wellness,
mhm,
WELLNESSMD.com.
mhm.
Gary'sMWellnessMD.com. So let me ask you a question. What are
Yes.
some ways that you can be contacted if someone wants to further this discussion with you
Gotcha.
or take advantage of what you have to offer?
Okay. So the best way is on that website, which is nice because it does give you information and a contact me, and it does come to the email. So that way, if myself or someone working with me can get in touch with you and to just start the dialogue and conversation, either book a discovery call, but I love in person. During COVID where we couldn't see each other, touch, greet, feel the energy. There's an energy that we give from our spirits and our being. I get, so I love in person as much as possible. So, but virtual is okay. I'm used to telehealth too.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I'm used to that too. So yes, for someone out of state, I'm working on getting my out of state license cleared up. But if you're not in Birmingham, I can talk to anybody and prescribe to anybody in Alabama. So we're good. And when I say prescribe, I mean, as he said, your prescription does not have to be a medication from a pharmaceutical company with all those side effects. It could be what vitamins, what supplements, what food,
Right,
what
right, right.
activities, what rest. Go get your CPAP and use it. Some basics. Um, but yeah, so I can contact anybody during those via those modalities. But if for some reason you cannot get online or get onto the website, we do have an old school telephone in the
There you
building.
go. And
It's
here's the phone
305.
number, guys. The phone number for those who are not watching, the phone number
Yeah.
is area code 205 436
Mm-hmm.
2023. That phone number again is area code 205 436 2023. Now I have an address here,
Hmm.
4500 Katie's Way,
Yes.
Suite 638, Bessemer, Alabama 35022. That's 4500 Katie's Way, Suite 638, Birmingham, Bessemer, Alabama
All right.
35022. That phone number again is 205 436
Mhm.
2023. And she does offer virtual visits, guys.
Yes.
So telehealth is also the way to go. Before we get
Mhm.
out of here, I
Mhm.
love asking people this question. So thank
Mhm.
you so much for joining us. But before we get out, I got to ask you a question.
Hit it.
Now, I want to thank you, obviously, for being here, for your time, for everything that you're joining, and for sharing exactly what we needed. But here's my question to you, Doc.
Okay.
If you could prescribe one thing to everyone listening right now that isn't a pill that
Mm.
will encourage them to pursue to add to their health regimen and overall care, what would it be?
You already know my answer. Faith in a relationship with the Lord thy God under the salvation of Jesus Christ. I don't even know how to. I'm telling y'all seriously. Um, when God is your strength, he is your focus. He is your understanding. He sustains your mind. He will guide you
Right,
to the
right.
right people. He will give you discernment on what to and what not to eat. Nine times out of ten, a lot of times somebody somewhere told us, hey, don't eat this,
Yeah,
that.
you already
We
know.
will- we
You
know.
already know.
It's so, but I can't say enough because when they say he will guide you beside the still waters, he will restore your soul. He will lead you down the path. He will do it in the moments of chaos, in the moments of uncertainty, even in the best and the still of time. I would choose nobody else but God and my faith.
Guys, I told you this doc was good. I guess y'all thought I was joking. Dr. Sean,
Mhm.
thank you again so much for joining the show. Don't go away right quick, Dr. Sean. I
Okay.
want to get you out of here. Before we get out of here, you guys, hold on what you got. Guys, listen, healing ain't just about what you take. It's about what you take back. Yeah, healing ain't just about what you take, it's what we take back. Your voice, your power, your peace. The antidote might not come with instructions, it might not come in a bottle at all, but it is out there. It's inside of each and every one of you, waiting. And in this episode, we didn't just talk medicine, we talked truth. Medication shows us how to keep things quiet, how to keep our pain quiet, how to keep everything quiet. Now is a time. Maybe this is a time that you go take back what medicine told you to numb. Listen, guys, I got to get out of here. But as always, guys, let me tell you, it was a fantastic time sharing with you. Be back here next week because, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern to listen to the show. Or you can stream on your favorite listening platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, and so many more. Guys, I got to get out of here. But as always in party, if you're going to tell me something, then tell me something good. I'm out of here, y'all. I got to go.